Welcome. Today we assemble here to discuss very important topic, very relevant to our state of Manipur, of problem of water resource development and management. Before I give the brief biodata of our eminent speaker today, I'd like to request our President Oza Ranjan to give welcome address.
Okay, thank you, Oja Somarendro, and good evening to all the members of PIMMSAA, brothers and sisters, and other uh, the what is called the persons, peoples joining us from all parts of the country as well as from abroad, and members who are not the members of PIMMSAA. Before I start the few words about the welcoming today our eminent speaker, our senior scientist, Dr. Somarendro Singh. So coming back to our program, first of all, I, on behalf of PIMMSAA and all the participants present for today's event, extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Somarendro Singh, who is a very senior scientist, hydrogeologist, working in the Central Groundwater Board in the northeastern regions, Guwahati. And we are very happy that when we requested Dr. Somarendro to give an talk about the issue of water scarcity, which is happening everywhere, not only in our state Manipur. It is a big problem and challenges being faced in every part of the world, and particularly in our country, where there is a total mismanagement of the water resources, which for which we are paying a very heavy price. So I'm very sure that we will be getting a lot of useful information from the talk that will be given by our friend and colleague and respected scientist, Dr. Somarendro. And also, I extend our warm welcome to all the participants, the member of PIMMSAA, and the participants from the other than the PIMMSAA, that being a working day, all of you have spare your valuable time and coming and joining in today's fifth PIMMSAA talk series, which is the fifth event today. So I will not take much time. I'm very sure we will be getting a very fruitful and useful information from the talk that we are going to have today. So now I request Oja Somarendro to take over the next the part of the program. Thank you to all of you.
Okay, thank you, Oza President, Oza Ranjan. Yeah, I welcome again. It gives me an immense pleasure to thank you again for this very important seminar kind of lecture going to be spoken by our very eminent senior hydrogeologist, Central Groundwater Board, Northeastern Regions, Guwahati, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India. Before I give his brief biodata, I'd like to give the context of today's lecture. We have a real problem in Manipur. This real water scarcity. As you know, every household, even the peak monsoon, we heavily relied on the private supplier, and then we are spending so much in water. And another issue is that in spite of having, as is known as a wet state, because of the rainfall pattern, but somehow because of the mismanagement, or since we don't have proper catchment area, water is just washed away, and also because now rain is very erratic. Rainfall is very erratic. Somebody say it's because of climate change. It's a heavy precipitation in a very short time, and then there is a long span of time. There's no rain. It's a kind of drought-like situation. So in that context, so kind of requirement is real practical problem is that we are paying money for even though there is a wet region, we're paying something like 30,000 per household for people. Kind it's a bigger house, then you spend more again. So it's a huge. If you calculate, if I multiply by 3 million, so it is coming like something like say 7+ crore per annum we're spending on water. So it's a huge public money we are losing because of mismanagement in water. I have gone through a little bit about this problem. In fact, we don't have a big catchment area. Our rivers are very small. There are 15 rivers in Manipur, the major rivers, I would say, but then it is very small river. The square kilometers I've seen from the literacy is something like 167 square kilometer. So if you see the catchment area from this in the Ithai village and all, is hardly some 6,000, some 300 square kilometers. So you collect something like 171 million liter per day. This is kind of the number given by the Manipur government, this public health engineering department. The 171 MLD is very small number again, because if you say if you per person if you consume 100 liters per day. For example, we consume say 10,000 liters per, as I said, per month for a household, because we require kind of 5 tanker in the monthly basis. So considering that if you calculate 100 liters per day per person, if you multiply by 3 million, so you require 300 million liters per day. So it's a huge number. But if you restrict the water, okay, 150 MLD, you can. But then you have only 171 MLD as in the full capacity. And again, this full capacity you cannot use all, because this is the full capacity. You never can extract all the water. So we must have, even though we have very rainfall, the river is very small, and we don't have big catchment area. So truly speaking, we need this kind of catchment area, lake development, water harvesting, or like once when we were young, when we were growing up, every household, every we have the small pond. So most of the water we are, getting from the pond, kind of. So it's not from the supply water. Water supply at all was not there when we were growing up. So therefore the government suddenly cannot supply. That's what my intention is, that government, my argument is the government cannot supply because they don't have their kind of big capacity reservoir to supply for this whole population. So we need proper kind of planning, and we need proper suggestion to the government, instead of we said that you don't supply water, because they cannot supply water given that the kind of capacity they have for every household. That's the real problem. That's what today's talk is very important. So our very senior hydrogeologist, and yeah, in that context, again, I will just add on is that we also may require therefore the groundwater, because the surface water, the river water, the catchment is very small, and of course now with the present government they have something in that line to develop this kind of lost wetland, kind of the lumpen part. Now they are going to restore like that. So those things, I think we have to encourage the government to develop this catchment area so the water is not washed away during the heavy rainfall. If water get you can catch the water, then it can sustain for the whole year till the next monsoon coming. So this is the kind of suggestion, and also we should be telling the government about cleaning this canal and kind of, so that all this water going to the main reservoir, wherever we have a catchment area like lake or river, it should be falling in. Otherwise, river just dry up just after the monsoon. It's not in river is always running in half capacity. So river is all going to be, that is another issue I think we can discuss, and today's talk is very important. Therefore, as of now, we need a lot of water, and that water cannot be given from this catchment, whatever reservoir we have. So we must have this groundwater as an substitute to fulfill this deficiency. So in this regard, our speaker is expert in this groundwater. He has been working in this field for the last 22 years in developing and also in disseminating this water groundwater technologies, and he is quite very much involved in monitoring and implementing these national policies for scientific and sustainable development and management of Indian groundwater resources. Therefore, it's very important that with his guidance and with the PIMMSAA banner, Pan India intellectual scientists and other academicians and administrators together, maybe we can give some way out to the government, so that government also take it positively for so that we have permanent resolving this issue of this water crisis in Manipur, which is quite alarming. I mean, spending like such as ports, there 7 crore per annum from the public money just for water. So, just I give you a bit of biodata. Already, Dr. Somarendro Singh is already well known in the Manipuri society. But for the sake of traditional introduction, as we have in this PIMMSAA talk series, so I'd like to introduce Dr. Somarendro Singh. His present position is Senior Hydro-geologist, Central Groundwater Board, Northeastern Region, Guwahati, Ministry of Jal Shakti under Government of India. He did his MSc Geology and also PhD in Geology, Hydrogeology, and groundwater quality and environmental impact assessment from the Punjab University. And he also had another degree on business, MBA from Sikkim Manipur University. So with this note, I like to welcome and request Oza Somarendro to give the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator sir, Somarendro sir, and my respected President sir, Ranjan sir, Dr. Ranjan sir, and all my respected members of the PIMMSAA and other these dignitaries and experts who have attended today's talk series. From my side, I welcome to all participants join here online. And I would like also extend my sincere thanks to PIMMSAA and for especially giving me the opportunity to share some of my these findings and about the water resources of Manipur and its development and management, and regarding surface water, groundwater. As I belongs to Central Groundwater Board, I will give special emphasis to groundwater sector also. And I will have some presentation I prepare for, because for easy sharing of the information, I will make my presentation with this PPT. I will share my presentation now. My slide is visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, visible.
It's okay. The full slide is visible. Okay. Welcome to all the learned and expert scientists, senior scientists, and all academics and professors of the PIMMSAA. I welcome once again. Today, on the 3rd November 2023, I will share on the water resources Manipur and its development and the management. So I give men 5 points here today to discuss and from my presentation. First is the water resource potential and its development in Manipur. Then second point is water related issues and its management plan and regulation in special spaces to Manipur. And the central sector schemes of under Ministry of Jal Shakti like PMKSY and Jal Jeevan Mission. Then the implementation of the master plan of water harvesting, rainwater harvesting. Then the spring development and its rejuvenation. I kept today's this main 5 topics today to discuss and share with you all. Uh, so we start with the water. The water is, everybody knows that it's indispensable to life. But human beings can survive for 3 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water we can survive. So moreover, there can be no food cultivation without water. Conceptually, therefore, the human right to life regarded as the most basic and the fundamental of all rights, that is right to water. So out of the 3 lists in the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution, water is a matter included in the entry number 17 of list 2nd, that is the state list. Now water is the state in the state list. If we see how the water distribution of the water in the agriculture field, it's 70% of the agriculture we are using. And if we see even now, it's industrial sector is increases, that is up to 19%. However, for domestic and the municipal uses, just only 11%. And without water, we cannot survive. Human bodies is having nearly 60 to 70% with the human body. And we have different these percents of the water concentration with the human tissues, bones, muscles, and especially with blood, that is around 83% is with blood. So if we see the distribution of the water on the earth, say for example, around 97%, 96.5%, we call it salt water. This is total global. Then we have only around 2.5% of the fresh water. Out of that 2.5%, groundwater shares around 30%, and around 68%, it's towards the glaciers and the ice caps. So whatever is we have now, it's a maximum share is with the saline water, salt water. So it's difficult to distribute such less amount of the fresh water to the population of this world and India and Manipur as a whole. So if we look in the groundwater also, how much is groundwater? We have 2 parts. Say dynamic groundwater resource, which is replenishable when we take out it for the season after monsoon, and that is whatever is we got from the rainfall, then it can replenish again. That is the dynamic groundwater resources. And the static part is it's the stable groundwater resources, that is we kept as a strategic mineral, which is used in the time of the war and the emergency. So in total, whatever is available, that is we call the total groundwater availability. When we discuss about this water resources, it will come the surface water and the groundwater. In total, this is the distribution of the water on the surface of the earth. So if we check how much water is coming down and how much is the losses, if direct surface runoff out of the we have received from rainfall, and that means around 28%, nearly 30% has lost due to the direct runoff, and around 58 to 60% has lost due to evapotranspiration. So how much is water is going towards the ground and as a blaze flow to river is deep percolation is hardly 2% only, and the base flow is the 12% only. Maximum loss is the on evapotranspiration and the evaporation. So in this regard, we have to care about cropping patterns, then the plantations, and how we have to conserve this evapotranspiration to the evaporation. So if we discuss about the water, types of water, if, generally everybody knows, but I like to refresh that there are three categories, that green water, blue water, and gray water. If we generally consider the green water, the precipitation rainfall water as green water. If the blue water is, we just consider the irrigation and the agricultural water. Gray water, everybody knows that polluted waters are the contaminated water that we call the gray water. So these are the distribution of the water. Now we come down to the Indian scenario. If we come, India shares about 2.4% of the world's resources as a land resource. But in terms of water resource, we just only 4% of the world resources. But we see in the human population, that is 18%. That is more than 4 times, 5 times more than the water resources. So as a whole, we receive around 3,880 billion cubic meters of the rainfall every year in India, out of which total availability of the water is, after all surface runoff and evaporation, we have only the around 2,000 BCM. That much we have. Out of them, we have their surface water is 690 billion cubic meter, and groundwater we have is around 437 billion cubic meter. If we check now, after just independence and the first census of the India, we have this water distribution of the per capita water availability per head, that is 5,177. As on now, if we check around 2021, it's nearly 21, 22, we have only 1,300. This is per capita water availability now. So if we projected around 2050, it's nearly 1,100 only. It's a very alarming position in India now. So we check the residence time of the water resources. Say, for example, if we see the say river water, how many days with you? Atmospheric water, how many days with you? Hardly 1 day, weeks, and that much. But in case of the groundwater, if we check it, it's a very slow process, and it takes time to go through, and but it stays more than the 10,000 years and more. So groundwater is somewhat stable. Today we have river water in front of me. That river water will goes and flows and it directly join to the sea, and that's the residence time period is the very limited for this surface water. But we consider to groundwater is the very long period for us. So these are some basics of the just groundwater and the surface water. I just refresh for that. Now we come to Manipur. How much is the surface water we have, and how much is the groundwater we have in Manipur? And basically, if terms of the water, we can check the what are the river basins, we have the Barak Basin, but Barak Basin is in the western part of the Manipur, northwestern, that is bordering to Assam, and the Manipur River Basin, especially in the Manipur Valley and the Imphal Valley. Plus with lakes, we have this around 18.48 billion cubic meters of the this water in this area altogether. If we go to the Barak Basin has higher around 3.29 billion cubic meter. And in Manipur Basin, we have around 5.19 billion cubic meters. Out of the total catchment area was around 6,837 square kilometer. This river basin altogether, this Imphal River, Thoban, then Manipur River, and the Iril, Sekmai, Hero, altogether we have around 6,837 square kilometer. In that we have a water source of around 5 billion cubic meter, which we can use annually. So this 6,837 square kilometer that covers around 30% of our whole Manipur, this state. That is it's a small area, But this small area, this valley, Manipur River Basin, it's supplying and controlling all the domestic, agricultural and industrial fields of the whole Imphal Valley. This is our potential here. And if we see the origin of the river, the Manipur River, everybody knows that it started from Senapati, then flows, and it joins to Kongba River at Kiamgai, and joins by Iril River at Lerong, then joined by Thawan River at Irong near Mayang Imphal, then it joins as Sakmai River at Sakmaijing. Then beyond Sakmaijing, the Imphal River is also known as the Manipur River, and it joined to Kuga River near Itai Beres. Then towards the tail in that Imphal Valley, it's joined to the Sakpi River. This is the our this origin and the joining of these basins and the rivers in the Manipur River Basin. If we check the Barak Valley, okay, Barak Valley is not supplying totally to ours except Jiribam district, but we check the Manipur River Basin here. Then in the Manipur River up to Itai Beres, it's we have around 116 million liters per day. It can supply per day, and if beyond Itai, that is Itai Beres, it's only 55 meters, 55 MLD. It can supply to the this basin area. So, if common water resources, if we check district-wise, in the hill district, it's around 56,461 water spread area is in the hill district. It is around 44,000 only in the valley districts. If we check the distribution of the water bodies, what are the water bodies? If we check ponds, tanks, and the lakes, and the rivers, and the paddy fields all together, and the small reservoirs, if together in the Imphal Valley, in the Manipur Valley, total valley districts, we got around 44,000 hectares of the area. And if the water bodies are distributed, wetland areas, it's mainly it's tanks and the ponds. Then the highest distribution, 62% in Manipur, is the lakes and the ponds maximum. And the rivers and the streams are the main source of the water supplying, and the water for agriculture, river and the stream is the 26% only. And if we see the waterlogged area, that is 6%, that is very high also. Waterlogged area is difficult to mitigate when once it is waterlogged, started salinity issues in the any locality, any area, and any state. So we have a high waterlogged area also. We need to develop this waterlogged area for other purposes, for domestic supply, agriculture, even industries also. So this waterlogged area is the, we can say that negative to the water distribution. So distribution of wetlands, if we check, say highest distribution of the wetlands is the Bishnupur district. Of course, Loktak Lake is there. So 34% is the, and the next is the Waithog Lake, and the other lakes are there nearby. So Thawan district is the second. So others hill districts not so high. But Imphal West, due to the peripheral of this Mayang Imphal and the Loktak area, so there is around 13%. It's the this distribution of the wetland in the Imphal West district. So, if land area, if distribution of the land use pattern, if we check land without shrub, it's around 39%. Agricultural land is, if we check, it's 49% is our agricultural land here. So if we check the forest, this deforestation, in case of the all over northeastern states, then the Manipur has a decline around 492 square kilometers by 2022. It's a comparative statement of the 2011 to 2021. This from the Ministry of Environment Forest. So it's a very difficult, unlucky for our state that we have a forest deforestation and the declining of forest area by 492 is very unlucky for us. This is issue of the change in everything, what recharging of the water and all landslides and everything in the state hill parts of the Manipur. So now, if we check point of groundwater, it's groundwater is a subsurface water. Surface water we can see in the river, in the lakes, in the ponds, but groundwater we cannot see. So it's a we have the two parts here in groundwater, ancient part. It's a, we can extract through structures like duct well, tube well, and the bore wells, and the many different methods. And it oozes out in the form of the springs. Springs are also a part of the groundwater, and in the lean period it oozes out in the form of the base flow in the river. That is also groundwater. When groundwater is it's gift in India. Groundwater plays a big and a major role in the field of agriculture and the rural water supply, and even in the industrial sector also. So this is right side is the hydrogeological map of Manipur. If it is in the technical term, we can see the central part of the Manipur that is surrounding to Loktak, that is alluvium. Then if we western part of the bordering to Assam, this is Surma area, and in between the Beryl and the Disang. So our hydrogeological condition of Manipur is very critical, and to get water is also difficult from subsurface groundwater. So if we check how much resource groundwater is in Manipur, in the East District, in the block, in the locality, we have regularly, especially Central Groundwater Board, we have regularly assessed how much water is available in the subsurface. So to check it, we have to divide this area geomorphologically in the slope category. If the parts of the hills or per hills which is slope is more than 20%, if the slope is very high, then the that rainwater or the surface runoff, the whatever is received the rainfall precipitation, surface runoff is very high. If there is no research in that. Unnecessarily they will disturb the locality, landslide, and it will surface runoff is very high, then siltation and other issues will come up. So there is no research in such high slope area. So by considering the slope factor, slope below 20%, that is we call the in terms of the groundwater research worthy area. We categorize in Manipur around 2,559 square kilometer as a groundwater research worthy area. So based on that, in this 2,559 square kilometer, this covers the Imphal East, Imphal West, Thauban, Bishnupur, and the 320 square kilometers of the the Susanpur district and the Jiribam together. We consider under the groundwater research worthy area, and the rest of the hill districts, they are the parts are the more than 20% slope, and they are not research worthy area. We are not consider for regular resource assessment of the Manipur. If we check how much is available, total annual this groundwater research, if we check here for Manipur as a whole, for the research worthy area, it's around 0.51 billion cubic meter here, and out of that, around 0.46 is the we can extract that one. That is replenishable. Every year we can take it out, and it will automatically recharge again. This is the dynamic groundwater. This is replenishment, not fixed. Once we have taken out, and it will complete it, not like that. This is the replenishable. We can take out every year, then it will automatically replenish after the rainfalls. So from that, how much is we are extracting for irrigation? We have already extracted 0.017 billion cubic meter. We have already taken for irrigation purposes. And for industries hardly we have around 5-10 industries, water package, drinking water, and the other some factories are there. They have taken very less minimum industry. So in domestic, it's around highest is we have taken domestic demand is very high. So 0.02 billion cubic meter we have taken out for domestic supply from groundwater, and it's a total extraction is the in comparison to the other rest of the states of the country, and our extraction is a very minimum. So we need to more develop, to more extract for purposes of the irrigation, domestic and industry. We have the ample scope and huge quantum of water, groundwater for develop for to make the demand and to make the supply of the all the demands for domestic and irrigation sector. So if we check total this one in storage, say in storage and groundwater total resources the 9.232 billion cubic meter, and total groundwater availability if we check for together it's a 9.78. It's in an area of only Manipur Imphal Valley, that is 2559 square kilometer, not in 22,327. We have 9.78 billion cubic meter of water available, out of which regularly every year we can take out 0.466 billion cubic meter. That is in a area, valley area, that is research worthy area of 2559 square kilometer. So we can take, we can supply. This is we have the all this is quantum, huge quantum of groundwater can supply and fulfill all the demands of the this populous area, most populous area, this Imphal city, then the Imphal Valley, Manipur Valley together. So this is the our present as on March 2022, as on March 2023, as per our latest this exercise of the Central Groundwater Board. If we check the future for future, then net groundwater availability for future use is around 0.41 billion cubic meter. If for domestic also we projected for up to 2025, that is 0.02 billion cubic meter is available. If we check the how much we have utilized, that is we call the stage of groundwater extraction, that is how much we have utilized out of 100. That is only 7.99 we have only utilized now. So here 4 categories of groundwater extraction here. I have not, I will share with you that safe category first. How much is you have taken out? That is the first category is the safe category. If the extraction amount percentage is up to 70%, we call it the safe category. If it is 70 to 90%, we call it the semi-critical. If it is 90 to 100, we call it critical. If it is we have taken out of 100 and the more than 100, total 100, whatever is we have taken out, that is more than 100, we call overexploited. In case of India, we have 8 states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, and Maharashtra, and Telangana, Andhra, Tamil, like that. 8 states, they have already taken out whatever is they have, that is overexploited, more than 100%. In case of here, even in northeastern region, even in Manipur also, say for our state Manipur, we have only 7.99. That is the safe stage is up to 70%. We are just starting. So we are not utilizing whatever we have our resource now. So it's a time to develop our whatever we have now for domestic, for irrigation, for industry, for the development of our economy and our future demands, all things we can supply now. So this is the present scenario of the groundwater in Manipur. So if we check district-wise, Bishnupur, Susanpur, Imphal East, Imphal West, and Thauban, these are the research-worthy area. So there are alluvium, sandstone. These are the technical terms. If we check, there is the good discharge in almost all the this valley section. So there is in say for example Bishnupur, there is around 300 cubic meters per hour. This is a good discharge. We can supply a lot of domestic and other things also. If we check Susanpur also, Imphal is around 400 cubic meters per hour. Then Imphal West also. Then there is ample scope of the development of this subsurface groundwater for our demands in Manipur. So if we check the present scenario in the Imphal city, so we have using surface water 64 MLD and groundwater around 7 point, just only 1.2 points we are using, and demand is 98. Then the deficit is now 26. We can fulfill this supply also. And the public health engineering, they have already constructed more than 2,500 tubes, but due to some issues, their construction issues, tube well constructions and the duct well construction should be followed some guidelines, and scientifically they have to develop and construct that. Due to some construction issues, and they are not following the guidelines, so some of the tube wells already abandoned and fell. This, if according to PICD now, if we concluded that how much is water demand for domestic consumption, whole Manipur is around 200 MLD. This much water is easily we can supply from both the surface and the groundwater. So, in a nutshell, if we check the gross command area and the spacing on all things, now for total of land area of Manipur, around 5,300 wells if we have constructed, it would easily cover the irrigation scenario of the Manipur altogether. This is the findings, whatever is we have we have constructed a lot of deep wells, then duct wells and the exploratory wells here in Manipur. From that, this scenario is come up. I will explain you. If say for example, we have constructed one well at Ningthau, it's around 40 meters depth. In Bishnupur, or it's around 100 meter depth, like that. The wells, if we check the zones, we have make it in a cross section that gravel, blue color, sand. Then from this, that we have prepared it as a aquifer map. That is, we call the where is the groundwater potential, where we can do. Then from this picture, from this cross section, then the public health engineering and the implementing agencies of state, they can easily select, oh, this area have some clay zone, this area has gravel and the sand zone. Based on that, we can easily select and successful. Wherever is not potential, we should not select the site. Then wherever is a potential, we can select. And the depth will be changed from place to place. Accordingly, we can project and propose our DPR. So this is the findings of the Central Groundwater Board. If we check Ningthau, Bishnupur, Taubul, then Tulihal, then up to Imphal College and the Guwahati, this is the structure. Based on it, if we plan to construct a well, we can construct it economically, and how much depth we can construct it. This is the one of the best information which prepared under the National Aquifer Mapping Program of the Ministry of Jal Shakti for the state of Manipur. And this is Chingmairong, Thangwaiban, Kaishamthong, Khagempali, and the Sekmai. Then this all parts on the Kansipur, Ghari, Lelong Tongkong, then the Mantripuki, Porompat, Yairipok, and Nilakuti, Tengdongyang. Then in case of Thauban, then Sugunu, Pangantabi, Waikong, and this we can directly see that the blue colors, all the water potential zones, blue, light blue, and the blue sand, gravel, and these are the very good water potential zones are here. Khongjom, Kapching, Wangjing, Yairipok, it's almost good potential zones. So these things we have all with us, and we have already shared all the state, all the concerned deputy commissioners and the state principal secretaries, even the chief secretary, with the presentation that these are the findings of our department. Then when we have to implement any project for the to fulfill the demand of the water supply in terms of domestic, in terms of the irrigation and the industry, this may be the frame-based work and for preparing the DPR. So this information, first-hand information we have already shared to concerned state departments. So based on this information, And in the long gap, I have been trying to Manipur since 2002 to take some projects regarding rainwater harvesting, regarding groundwater development, then spring rejuvenation. But unluckily, state government has some lacuna, and they have some issues for coordination. And many times I have requested, even I have done from representing Central Groundwater Board many surveys in Imphal Valley, almost in the parts of the Manipur. Then from that findings, we have projected and presented to every year with the state government agencies concerned. Then it's pending and pending, but since before the COVID pandemic, and we have requested many times, but government of Manipur is not willing to take up some projects. But finally, that on our request, this one scheme for irrigation, that is PMKSY, Prime Minister Krishi Sinchay Yojana, Har Khet Ko Pani, HKKP. That is a one groundwater component is implemented in Manipur, covering almost all the districts of the Manipur. It's first as a pilot project. We have done around 550 wells in all the districts of the Manipur. Our total target command area was 2057 hectares, and with a total target of 1445 the farmers. And especially we prefer the farmers, especially should be from the SC, ST and the women's farmers. That should be marginal and small farmers. Marginal farmers means those who have around 1 hectares of land only, and the small farmers are the from 1 to 2 hectares of land. We are not considered the large farmers, rich farmers. We consider only all the deprived poor farmers, and the special emphasis to ST, SC and the women farmers we have given. This is the outline of the total farmers we have covered, and out of that, this blue color I have already plotted here. All the blocks which have covered in the first pilot project. Almost we have covered more than 70% of the Manipur state in the first phase. It's very successful, and the Chief Minister of Manipur, he is also very happy on this 550. Now more demand is coming up from the this government of Manipur now. So on this PIMMSAA forum also, we will share wherever is there all the farmers. There is no need of the any this expenditure from the farmer. The farmer needs to share a land. You can see here where this solar this pumps is here, small land of his area. That much we needed. Then here the construction, the tube well, either tube well or bore well or duct well, whatever is construction cost, we give around 3 lakhs for the construction cost. We will bond from Government of India. Then again for construction, after construction, then for the installation of the pump, maybe it's a solar pump or the electrical pump. For solar pump, for installation of the pump per HP, we have given especially 85,000 per HP. If there is the 5 HP is necessary, 4.25 lakhs is for the pump. It will be shared from the project. Then if for the electrical connectivity, there is the provision for connection. There is 2.5 lakhs for extra connection of the electrical lines, and as well as for the pump 75,000 extra. And for the survey, before the implementation and the selection of the site, there will be some small survey that whether the water will be available or not. For that, we have given 28,000 per site, or for a small survey of that. Then for the distribution of this water, after successful of the work, we need some pipes also, canvas pipe for distribution around 200-300 meters of the length. So that 20,000 rupees we have given. Altogether, one project nearly 10 to 11 lakhs is almost covered. This scheme has given 90:10 for especially for northeastern region. It's a very successful. Farmers are all the progressive, and even these poor farmers, they are especially very happy from this scheme and the project, and it's a very successful one. Not in Manipur, all over northeastern state, we have 9 projects, in the last from 2019 to 23. We just closed on March 2023. So it's now the new phase is coming up. We are planning that. I have requested to all the concerned Manipur secretaries are also, and even the chief engineer, this minor irrigation department, other concerned departments, to cover almost all the farmers, deprived farmers who needed it especially. So in this regard, I request to PIMMSAA also, we will find out wherever is needed for this scheme in the next phase. May not be this 550 is the pilot. We can come up to thousands and more than 2,000 and 3,000 also for to fulfill all the needs of the farmers. And these are especially ongoing and completed these projects in Manipur. Almost everybody knows. Just for the information I have shared this season-wise also. Now, under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, there is the Jal Shakti Abhiyan project here ongoing now to catch the rain and to conserve and restore the rainwater now. This is the catch the rain. Under this, Honorable Prime Minister of India has suggested that in every district there should be minimum of 75 numbers of the ponds. That is we call Amrit Sarovar. That pond should have a minimum depth of the 2 meters and have a capacity of more, 10 minimum 10,000 liters of the water. That means very minimum. But we have the ample scope. Then district-wise, a number of ponds we have identified in Bishnupur and then this district-wide distribution. Now all are under progress, and this will also help a lot in this water conservation and the water storage in the East District. Every district minimum of 75 should be there. This is the ongoing this water conservation, water harvesting project under the Jal Shakti Abhiyan now. And this under the Jal Jeevan Mission also, we have projected that by March 2024, we have to complete all the household water supply under Jal Jeevan Mission. If we check now, this is around Manipur as per functionality status. If we check, it's 40% now, and almost like None and other Chuchampur, Kangpopi, they have almost 80 plus their percentage. But Imphan West, Kaching, and we have Bishnupur, and in the Valley districts we have even Thawan also poor status now. It's trying to improve by Public Health Engineering Department now. It's under the supervision of the Ministry of Jal Shakti. So these are the some of the issues. We have quantity of water received by household, then pipe water supply storage, then how much regularly they are receiving or not. These are the some pictures here in the under Jal Jeevan Mission. So a total of household is the 4,51,566, out of which as on that around 3,49,000. That is around 77% is almost covered now. But how much it's by March 24? It's we can check after completion of this project. So main issues, as our moderator also informed, that we have the around water resources surface and the groundwater together, we have only 65% of the total geographical area. Then these waters, especially from wetlands, lakes, ponds, river available. But issues is the demand of this domestic agriculture and industrial demand is not fulfilled by this available water. In terms of the groundwater also, local people are afraid about gas emanation during the construction of the well. There is no issue, but this we can easily, we have already trained up all the technicians and the engineering wing of this tube well team regarding this. There is no issue. So main issue is a low stage of development, but low stage of development means we are not using our available water here. This is the issue with us. and so we need to develop to use whatever we have in Manipur. So this is the issue. Then some small issues of the iron consolidation. This is not a major issue. We can improve and mitigate. There is all solutions about this. So main issues, if we come out, say it's drying up of springs and the deforestation especially, and the number of water consumers increases due to urbanization and other factors. So we need to do spring rejuvenation, rainwater harvesting, and the development of the waters, groundwater right now for the to make fulfill and supply the urgent demands of the state. So in irrigation here, issues are there because irrigation, no irrigation, even flood season. Our negligence of the people about time and the value, then slow action government, then changing livelihood or system farmers family, failure of market competition, decreasing of farmers income. These are the main issues in the agriculture sector. But after getting some improvement in the supply side, it's I think in the coming 2-3 years we will improve this part. So for the we need the agriculture policy of Manipur need to be considered on the basis of following fact. There is a wide gap between the physical and the financial achievements. So there is a scarcity of input of water for rice crop. So this scarcity of input of water for rice crop, it will be easily solved from our findings. We have already requested to concern even chief secretary also and the concerned secretaries, even from the ministry level, to solve and to implement for these things. I think hopefully if government of Manipur is that will solve these issues. So one of the most important thing is the impact of zooming. Over the last 20 years, this is a present scenario regarding poppy cultivation and other things also. Past 20 years, the state has seen significant environmental degradation because of widespread zooming in the mountainous and valley areas. So nowadays, it has been decreased to 2 to 3 years zooming. Instead of long this practice, this around 1 year, 2 year, even 1 year, they have completed their zooming cultivation, then they have shifted. Then which has a negative impact to eco restoration and ecological process of forest and the geomorphology of the hill ecosystem. This is the big issue here. And now due to that deforestation being the short cycle of the zoom cultivation, regularly we are receiving flash flood, mudslides, soil deterioration, and the loss of fertile topsoils become. This is the big issue here in the hill, in the state hill parts of the Manipur. Now, zoom or shifting cultivation in the hill areas of the state, particularly to the tribal people, it is a burning question to stop the system in the sake of the soil degradation in the ecological and the environmental unsuitable. So we have suggested that offering the village to control it, we can offer the villagers for improvement opportunities, other income generating works, then the establishing and the training them terrace cultivation or forestry cooperation instead of the zoom. Then we can initiate one zoom cultivation regulation policy to be met in view of the widespread degradation of forest cover hills in the hills of the Manipur. These are some suggestions from our side. We have already suggested also, we can discuss it to control this soil erosion, especially due to this we are losing our water retention capacity. And luckily, if this issues is coming regularly in the next 2 or 3 years, then this siltation and the sand erosion issues will come up, and finally it come down our Lavtak Lake, and finally Lavtak Lake will not be, it will be difficult to control our lake. All the siltation will come up here. So these issues and the challenges, this if we check all over India, and the water stress area, almost the red zones and the dark red and the light red, yellow. Luckily, our northeastern part of the state, it's almost low stress area, low to medium stress. So these issues we can taken off. We need rejuvenation of the springs and practice of the installation of rainwater harvesting and repairing of the all inefficient water supply distribution. All these things we need to develop here to control this and to check these issues as a challenge in our society. Now, if we check, these are some issues for the refreshing of that I have shared. One is the over extraction. That is one last there, this duck well, and the people are more than hundreds of people are gathering to collect the water. Here again, in case of Manipur, in around this is February, March, water is collecting from the Pukri ponds, and that girl is collecting in Dhalai district of Tripura. And the one is, white patches, there is salinity issue. And again, there is, one person is laying, that is from Karbi Anglong, is Mr. Borsing Killing, is that football player. Due to fluoride contamination, he has already expired at the age of 32 years. These are the issues. And the top issue, left corner top picture, is the overdraft. And the second part is we have water we are not using, over research and not using. And the left down bottom corner is the person, this is quality issue. We have with us three issues. One is the over exploitation, overdraft. One is the over research rainfall we are not using, and the third one is the water quality issue. These three issues we have to challenge and we have to solve. So in case of Manipur, we can check this is the issues water scarcity. And these are the some issues if quality, if these are the just for the refresh of the mind, I just sharing. So this is Mr. Borsing Killing due to fluoride contamination of the water. This is due to arsenic contamination in water. This type of the disease and the symptoms we have. So to manage these issues, groundwater draft, natural resource rate, then the natural resource is higher than the groundwater draft, and the groundwater quality deterioration. So we have to consider management types, that supply side management, that is bureaucratic side of, and the demand side management. Now we are considering demand side management, bottom up approach. So we need to consider all the stakeholders. So not from the government side only all the time. We need just demand side management also right now. So to overcome these issues from in the agriculture sector also, from the ministry of different ministries, from AIBP, from the Ministry of Jal Shakti, Har Khet Ko Pani from Ministry of Jal Shakti, and the part drop more crop from Ministry of Agriculture, Watershed Management, Department of Land Resources, Ministry of this river development. These are going on in even in all Manipur also, all over India. These are the schemes. And now as a last part of my topic, this master plan, implementation of the master plan. So we have every year we have prepared to conserve water, to rainwater harvesting, and to collect water, different structures. So in case of Manipur, number of structures proposed for farm ponds, we can construct the farm ponds at a unit cost of around 10 lakhs. This around 2,400 farm ponds we have proposed. Then the check dams, it can be from the river first order, second order, third order, we can construct it, these check dams, and around 1,295 retaining wall, then river drip irrigation, and the field channels. Almost we have every year we kept this in the master plan. Now the implementation part and the proposal from the government of state government is very necessary. We have regular meetings with the government of Manipur. We have constituted the state level committee, district level committee to implement this project for conservation and the collection of the water for supplying or in terms of the domestic and the agriculture uses. The rooftop rainwater harvesting, this is most important also. is not so costly. So if we check the schools around total school for around 5,000 schools, we can implement it in case of Manipur. And for these health centers also, a total of rural 63,000 around rural and urban around 500 we can do it. So these are the water conservation and the harvesting schemes proposed in for Manipur. For spring, in the case of the hill area, around 1400 springs we have already proposed for implementation, and with the cost of this unit cost of around 11 or 12 lakhs, it's not so high. So these are some of the water conservation and the water collection structures we can support our demand in the field of the domestic and the agriculture. So water conservation program we can do in rainwater harvesting, then groundwater recharging, then technology transfer. These things we can easily, and the research well percolation, these things we can easily construct and implement in Manipur. So some of the stories, Jan Kun, some ponds is here, here in the horticulture, in the kitchen field here. We can collect water in this form. It's very common in Meghalaya, Nagaland also. In Manipur also, it is started in Manipur. And this is, everybody knows that this is rejuvenation of the Lamphen pot. It's initiated recently now in government of Manipur. Then these are the farm ponds, some pictures just I have shared. And thank you very much. I thank you. I have covered some parts because it may not be cover all things, but I kept it for discussion for whatever is left in my presentation. Thank you very much for your patience hearing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Somarendro, and it's very enlightening talk. In fact, we're happy. At least we don't have fluoride and arsenic problem in Manipur, and you have shown, I mean, a lot of side effects given by the fluorosis and their arsenic contamination in water. But most probably that we don't have, as from the presentation you have, is the good thing. But we have some iron contamination, so that is not very severe. So that you have already mentioned, and some in the chat box also asking about how safe is the groundwater. So only this iron is there. Otherwise, our water is quite safe. Now, before I take up some questions, I like to say some comment. Rather, kind of, we have, as you rightly pointed out, the catchment is like 6,000 plus square kilometer. It's quite heavy, quite a high surface area. But then we have only collect 171 MLD. So there's something wrong in that. Either we don't have, the rivers are not full, or we are very shallow, kind of, we have to clean the river or lakes or something, because 6,000 plus square kilometer you collect only 171 MLD, millions liters per day, their kind of capacity from all these basin, Manipur river basins. So this is pretty small to me. For example, in many of these dam reservoir, they have hardly some 100 square kilometer and they have some 200 MLD, their kind of capacity. It's very small area. Okay, even in my place where I belong, I live here in Gujarat. It's a place we have there is no river, in fact, big river, and they have only the rain-fed dam, and that dam is kind of maybe some 140 kind of one side, and another side is some 20 kilometers. So hardly say, let's say some 100 square kilometer. But then we have some 160 MLD for to sustain this city. So I think something's wrong with our catchment area. So we need to rejuvenate. We need to, I mean, clean the river. Kind of catchment area has to be fully, river should be fully flowing throughout the year. That kind of thing is lacking. So that is one area I think we can suggest to the government. And the second area you are clearly pointed out, you have kind of 0.3 BCM, billions cubic meter. That is kind of you have extracted. There's this is kind of the water we can be extracted from the groundwater. So if I calculate, it is something like something like it is 400 mld. If I roughly calculate, so that will give all water we require. I mean, for example, for the village, for the valley area, you said something like 200 mld. Some simple calculation with some other thing. Even if we require say 500 mld for all of the state, there also is enough water. Even groundwater is you only extract 0.4 bcm. So if you calculate in the mld, it is more than some. I think it is nearly 1,000, not 400. It's nearly 1,000 mld. If you extract all, you only extract some percentage, say like 7%. So you only extract hardly some 20-30 mld. That's the problem. So this groundwater, we have enough water. Because this climate change, we can't deforestation we can prevent, because in the national perspective as well, if you see, you have shown the graph, this national data, you have shown that decline is by a factor of 4 from the last say 60-70 years. In 1947 we have something like, you have shown 6,000 cubic meter. It is per annual per average per capita. Now it has gone down to some 1,300, and now it's going to go to say 1,000 some plus in the next 10 years down the line. It's going to be really problem for Indian perspective. So that is Indian problem. Okay, that's why I have showed the red zone. But from our side, because here plenty of water, actually we have, it is really what is available, but we can't extract. For some reason it is so expensive, or you have, for some reason people are not aware, or wrongly telling that it is not good for drinking, not good for, is contaminated, this kind of arsenic and fluoride, which we don't have. We don't have this arsenic and fluoride problem, probably, since you have no sun. It's only the iron, some iron problem in Bishnupur area. Right. Otherwise it's good. And even if you extract the Imphal East area, because it's a not much big river, and if you have shown something like, if you can extract some, I have since written somewhere, it is quite a large amount, like you said, 400 meter cube per hour. So that is a pretty amount of water. I mean, that is 10 mld. If you calculate the kind of, this is quite a large amount of water you can extract from the groundwater, where there is no good river, big river. So this Imphal East area which is having problem, because there is no cultivation after the monsoon, because there is no good river, big river, no irrigation. So these issues, I think we can think about, and as an expert, and as we as a intellectual in the PIMMSAA banner, actually we can suggest to the government why, in spite of having so much of water, either we don't extract, or either we don't make the catchment good. The catchment area is not nicely kept, because we can't store good amount of water. Only 170 mld is very small amount, given the area we have, 6,000 plus square kilometer. So I just open questions to others. Anybody likes to put questions, please raise the hand and introduce yourself and put the question directly, please.
Right, Somarendro sir, it's rightly informed that if we compare 6,837, then in that area we have only around 170 mld. If we check it 2,559, that is very small area. In that area we are getting more than 9.3 billion cubic meters. That is in comparison to that, we need to develop the surface water. Then the surface water, Government of Manipur is trying in the many projects under the World Bank, under National Hydrology Project, and the second under Asian Development Bank. Even this rejuvenation of the Lamphun part is also issue with ADB for sometimes. That's why it's also dropped. So luckily it's come up. It's lucky for us now. So issue is that we need awareness and sensitization with not public, with the state government now. And we tried a lot, but sometimes some issues they have come out with some issues only. So it's a good forum that we can propose to strongly to from my department, from our ministry. We are trying to do whatever is best level. So we need one more forum also.
Yeah, actually, for this spring water, spring for the hill region, and where there is no big river, we can suggest groundwater is the only option, because we can't do the harvesting from the rooftop and all. Is very small capacity, you know. And since you have a lot of water, Ecofire is showing, your map is showing a lot of water. So you dig little bit and you get a lot of water, and then you can, even it is a little expensive probably for drilling and all, but then you have water. I mean, the availability yeah, so we can recommend all these hilly thing. They have water problems where there is no river. We can suggest this spring water. I mean, this is the only option you have. You can't collect water from other sources. You can't supply the pipeline and all for the long distance. Is very expensive, piping and all. So we tube well would be the best option for the hilly region where there is no big river. And the second, wherever there is a catchment area like Whitehawk Lake and these things, then Loktak and then Lamphel, this has to be nicely developed. This has to be clean.
Yeah. To be rejuvenated.
Yeah, you should store more capacity. Yeah, the question is open to all of you. Please raise your hand and introduce, and then put the question, please.
Yes. Can you hear me, sir? I'm Kaishan Sarjit from Thangmaiban. My permanent address is Thangmaiban Hizam Devalakai. I live near Lamphel Park, but right now I'm in Goa. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Please.
Go ahead.
I thought you are not hearing me. So
yes.
This one, during the presentation, I noticed some of the point regarding the groundwater. Groundwater, as you mentioned, that there is surface groundwater and underground groundwater. My first question is it good to extract too much underground groundwater? Because people are telling that if you removing too much groundwater, it will not be good for the land, because it may be land may be coming down. And the second thing is, if we develop focus most on the surface groundwater, I think it may be a good idea, because flooding may be stop, and fishing ecology and so many beautification one can do. I have seen recently that, because my home is very near to the Lamphel, we have water issue always. The government is start digging the this Lamphel wetland by using the JCB. But this one, how much it will be successful? But that time will tell only. But as I mentioned, my question is how safe to remove underground groundwater too much. This is the first question. And the second question is, suppose you know in Manipur's landscape is very bad, because we cannot do the interconnection of the river or canal as we seen in the UP or in other part of the India, because of the landscape we cannot interconnect the water body. So in that particular case, in your presentations, most of your groundwater is shown in the valley area, but I have seen very few in the hill area. So what is the status of the groundwater in the hill area? Because of course, because of the topography, once groundwater is there, do they remain in the hills or they go to the valley, which is lower altitude? Sir, do you get my point?
Yeah. Sarjit, thank you, Sarjit, sir. Welcome for your nice points.
Yeah, my question is my question is, in the hill groundwater, do this hill groundwater remains remains in a big amount, or whether they move to the low altitude valley? That is my second question. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sajid. On your reply to your these queries, first, groundwater and the water follows the topographic contour. So it will be topographically from higher to lower side. It automatically goes. And in case of your answer of your first question, so groundwater extraction, excess extraction, as I mentioned that there are four stages: safe, semi-critical, critical, and overexploited. So overexploited, semi-critical, critical is not so good for because overexploitation leads more contamination of the water, then sinking of the land, subsidence, and the issues are there. So right now, in case of the northeastern region, especially Manipur also, we have only 7.99% of the extraction only out of 100. So as per guidelines and as per our experience, we can develop up to 70% below SAP. So as on now, today we can we can extract our groundwater in case of the Manipur. I am not comparing the like Delhi, Gujarat, Haryana, Rajasthan, and the other overexploited states. So especially for Northeast, we have the ample scope and the quantum of water in case of groundwater can develop for fulfill our demands of the agriculture and the domestic as well. So this is the answer of your case. And the second reply, so in case of the hilly areas, high altitude, so springs are oozes out in the form of this is groundwater, all the springs. So in the higher topography area in Pars, there is the scopes that small pockets of the valleys are there. We have constructed there in the last there duck wells and the all the duck wells in Urkhul, Tamelong, None, all parts it is successful. In that groundwater and spring we can collect in that intact well as a duck well last there. Then we can take out the groundwater in the higher altitudes in the hill districts also. It's a successful story is from our implementation of the 550 numbers of the wells which we have constructed under PMKSY SKKP groundwater. So in your third question, I have already replied that this groundwater follows the topographic contour. So from higher altitude to the lower altitude, that is from my answer for you. If you are not satisfied, then we will discuss again. Please, sir.
Okay, thank you. Just one additional questions. What is this percentage for the surface groundwater? If you have any data, no, what is the percentage comes from the surface groundwater as compared to the underground in the context of the Manipur?
For groundwater, this percentage we have almost not percentage total available is the 0.51 billion cubic meter right now in case of Manipur. Okay.
But
Sarjit, let me answer in clear terms. We have the surface not surface groundwater. You are talking about surface river water, like lakes and all. We have as per his data shows 171 MLD kind of around. This is the we have Ithai barrage. This is the kind of catchment we have. But if he is talking, if it is groundwater, he has shown 0.5 BCM, billions cubic meter. So if you express in terms of MLD, this is coming something like 1000 MLD. So groundwater, we have more than the surface.
Surface.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, second survey, in that we have only extracted 7% of of this 0.5 BCM. I mean, this 0.7% is very small. He was telling you can extract up to out of 0.5, 0.4, something like 70%. But we have extracted only 7%. So there's no problem as long as you extract very little water. I mean, only when you extract too much, then this problem will come. But in our case, we haven't extracted actually. There is a lot of water.
Yeah.
We should be extracting and fulfilling
We have scope of development.
Yeah. Yeah. Next, Dr. Gagan Prit. Yeah. Please. Romy, can
myself is Dr. Arun Oinam.
Okay.
Actually, this is my student's computer. That's why my name is written as Gagan Singh. So nice to hear, Dr. Somarendro. It is a very long time that I hear your speech.
Thank you.
So we have been in Chandigarh. We have very long time, around 20 years back we were here. And my question is, it is very simple and it may be very silly also. So the question is about this water, surface water. So as Dr. Somarendro and you told about this, the capacity of this surface water is 1000 mld. So what I am saying is it possible this surface water can be used for the with the help of the water catchment and some other small dam over the river, that is a small river that we are having. Can we keep this water can be used for fill up this river throughout the year? That is my.
Okay.
So if it's happened, then we can exploit this. This can be exploited for the tourism also, as well as for the irrigation also. Is it possible that with the existing topography level of our valley region?
Yeah. Thank you, Tamo Arun. Thank you. It's possible, sir, because I have already mentioned in the last part implementation of the master plan. There I have mentioned the check dams and the gabion structures, Strager dam. All things we can construct it depending upon the order of the streams. We divided the river streams into order number 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So based on the order of the stream, if for example in the stream number 1, what type of the check dam we to control the water and to conserve the water, and based on the stream number 2, order number 2, 3. So these things for possible, and as well as we have established and initiated that in case of the spring zones, springs as a spring rejuvenation, as well as we have to develop as a eco-tourism plus as a heritage site. In the spring. We will develop. From the spring we will supply the water, then again as a heritage and the eco-tourism park we will establish. This is we have a success stories here in northeastern region, also in all over India under our ministry also we have initiated. And from government of Manipur there is proposals for that also we have received, and it's in the ministry now. It will be, I think, if luckily it is approved from the ministry, it will be very successful and very good ecotourism, and along with water conservation, development, spring rejuvenation, as well as the tourism. That is it's a possible, sir. Whatever is your question, sir.
Okay.
I just want to supplement Dr. Arun.
Yeah.
In fact, this we have we've been talking we have 6,000 some square kilometer this coverage, but then we only surface water is not 1,000. It is only 171 mld, very small amount. Because we don't have proper catchment. In spite of having a larger area, we have very little storage. So this is what we have to work on. I mean, to have to cleaning the river and to have catchment area, develop the lab, rejuvenate those things, wet areas. Then only we can have more enough water. Otherwise, the present what that's on is very little water from the surface. I mean, the river and the lakes. We have only 171 mld, so it's very small.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I am saying is, see, in Chandigarh we have one artificial lake. So this artificial lake is not a natural lake, and they designed this artificial. They make this artificial lake, and it is so big that the whole Chandigarh is water supply is provided by this lake. Let us see in this way, and even if we see in our Langol area also.
This is all about he is talking about this water harvesting. I mean,
Water harvesting.
Yeah, the development of this White House. I mean, cleaning the White House lake, and then now he started Lumpel part, Lumpel lake. So you now by doing so you can increase this catchment. Otherwise, water is just wash off. This washing away is not stored. But we have heavy rainfall and we have larger river. I mean, river stream is something like 167 square kilometer. The river length, total area. I've seen in some in their website. Okay, we say we have 15 river. So all this catchment falling in, and you have 6,000 plus square kilometer. But then we don't make this proper catchment. Either we don't have proper dam or reserve. As you rightly pointed out, we have to have something that that sort of thing. We have to develop this catchment area. I mean, in anywhere.
Area has to be developed. Very big artificial lake that we have to develop.
Dr. Milan, you like to ask some questions? Milan?
Yes, Tamo, actually, I just like to know about the status of the exploration of groundwater in the Imphal East. And yes, sir, you have mentioned about the possible way of exploration of groundwater in different part of the state. And then for using it in the agriculture purpose also, you have also mentioned about the different type of plans you are conducting along with the ministries. So is there any plan undergoing for the Imphal East, especially in the Sabam Lamai local? That area is a very vast area of our agriculture, but as we know that this area now we cannot even do the agriculture in one season or even in this monsoon season also. So, in this regard, can we propose some of the areas out of this Sabam Lamai local for your projects?
Right. We can do it. Especially in the pilot project, we have given special emphasis to Imphal East district, and out of the 550, 162. That means the lion's share is the Imphal East is the chief minister's area. So we have maximum priority has given 162 numbers, solar 40 numbers, electric 122 numbers we have given for this irrigation purpose. And again, the government of Manipur, Secretary Water Resource and MI, they have identified Imphal East as a first district for the implementation of the artificial resource master plan here. So there is no issue and the scope is there. So next proposal is coming up. Before finalization of our proposal, I will consult all the concerned members of the PIMMSAA how it will be better. So accordingly, we will frame out and we will suggest to the government of Manipur also. It's a scope still, Milan.
Okay, anyone? Ravindra, do you like to have some questions? Ravindra, the secretary.
Yes, Tamo, yes. Thank you, Dr. Somarendro, for a very insightful presentation. I have only two questions. First question is regarding the underground water availability in Manipur. And because most of the hand pumps in Manipur used to be, not successful. And what is the reason behind that? And the water quality coming out from the hand pumps are, I think, not that much good. And I think we need water treatment even after pumping out from the underground. That is number one question. Number two is the what is the level of impact on the water table as well as the rivers in Manipur because of the zoom cultivation as well as poppy plantation. Yeah. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Somarendro.
Thank you, Robin sir. It's a good question. Regarding this hand pumps, this is a public health engineering department. They have almost nearly 2,500, more than 2,500 hand pumps they have constructed. So hand pumps, especially in case of in geologically and the groundwater point of view in Manipur Valley, around 30 to 50 meters of depth. This is dominated by the clay. It's due to the Loktak Lake, that is we call a Lakerstein formation in our term. So up to 50 meters, especially it's dominated by the clay. In this clay zone and the clay and the riverbed, all the fine sand and the silt and the clay is dominated due to that, and the iron content is also very high, and that water is not so good. So public health engineering, they have installed around 10 to 12 meters of the depth, hardly 20 meters maximum, so hand pumps. So we need that to develop and construct the wells, not hand pumps also, beyond the 50 meter almost in the Imphal Valley, almost near to the Loktak peripheral area, Imphal West, Imphal East, and Bishnupur, and almost this parts. So whatever is constructed by Central Groundwater Board, by our department, we have constructed beyond 60 meter, 80 meter, even almost we have targeted up to 300 meter, 200 meter. All the wells are very, very successful, and that have constructed in the 1970s, 80s also. Still, that's a very good contact zones are there. There's a auto flow, artisan zones are there. Waters are very clear. Still, last 30, 50 years, its water is oozing out, is using by locals without any pump and other things. So, for example, in my when I was in there for construction of that in Manipur University also, International Ladies Hostel near that we have constructed, and the Hainopok area, in Samro area, Kakching, and Mayang Langjing, a lot of areas, and Kongjong Kakching, that we have constructed by CGWB in a systematic manner. So I am very sorry to say that public health engineering, they have constructed on emergency basis without taking due consideration of the all the ground conditions, how much we have to go, and what type of the slot we have to give, 0.1 mm or 0.75 mm, what type of pipe, Johnson's pipe or mild steel pipe, and the gravel packing, natural filtration should be there around the well. So these things they have not considered. They just throw down, and they have taken the water for temporary, then say they got water for temporary. That is not the actual way of construction of the wells. So that is the story behind the, unsuccessful of these hand pumps in both quantity and the quality constructed by the public health engineering. So this is the case. And the second question of our Robin sir is, I forgot that second question. What is the second question? Please repeat.
The zoom cultivation and the poppy cultivation.
Okay. Poppy cultivation. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, that is the big issue I have mentioned also in my presentation. Earlier, last 20, we can say for the last 20 years, zoom cultivation, even poppy also last 20 years, we can say, as per our records, due to that, all the, repeatedly they have changes within 1 to 3 years. So that cultivation is continuous for the long period. That is at least we can save the soil erosion and the somewhat siltation issues towards the river. But due to that, repeatedly every year they are changing within 1 year, within 2 years, from one hill to another hill, they are changing zoom cultivation. So that is the big issue for this land erosion. Then even it silt, muds, all come down to the rivers connecting to the valley areas, and it joins to the Loktak, and this is the alarming problem to our Loktak Lake also, and it will disturb the resource potential of the hill area. Actually, all the hill areas are the resource zones of our groundwater also. It will directly impact and directly disturb our groundwater potential in Manipur. Thank you.
Okay. I just
Thank you, Dr.
quickly I like
Somarendra.
to just I like to know actually from you this TIF well. I mean, what is the biggest you can drill? For example, if you like to make say 40 meter cube per hour, that kind of drilling is possible, because I have seen in most of these in Manipur you have hardly 4 meter cube per hour. The kind of flow you are getting. So what is the biggest you can drill? Because for agriculture and all, like Milan is talking about, you need large quantity of water. This is not for drinking. So I mean, what is the capacity we can drill?
It's a capacity of the this wells. It depends upon the area to area. So, for example, if we construct in the Imphal West, Bishnupur, and the Imphal East, we need more deeper wells. That is around 90 to 100 meters depth to get the contact around. This is alluvium and the sandstone contact. Then after that, we will get it's a minimum of 400 LPM, liters per minute of the discharge of the well yield capacity. This we can construct in the this Bishnupur and the Imphal East and the Imphal West. When we go towards the Thauban and the Kaching area, say hardly it's within 90 meters. It's very easily we can find high discharge more than 400 LPM, liters per minute. So Thauban, especially Thauban district and the Kaching, this is a very potential zone here. And in case of the Bishnupur, Imphal West and the Imphal East, so we have to go deeper. Say 90 to 120 meter is the good potential zone for these three districts.
No, that's okay. No, my question is, given that you have water, but then, for example, if I want to suck, say, I'm talking about the 40 meter cube, say 40,000 liters per hour. So
if 400 LPM is there, 400 liters per minute, then I think it's enough, I think.
So that will give into 60. So like around 20,000 liters per hour. So
Yes.
that is the max you can get. That's what you want to say.
And the one thing I would like.
There was some server issue.
Audio is not coming.
Yeah, audio is not coming. Because if we can have only 20,000 liters per hour, then if we want to, I mean, yeah. Uza Somarendro? Some issue.
I think he's trying to rejoin.
Yeah. Was there any questions? Any questions? Uza
Somarendro, are you able to reconnect again? I think he got disconnected. Some problem. Any other members? I think he will try to rejoin again. Other members, please ask any questions. So I will take away the last. Yes, sir. I think there was some connectivity problem, I think.
Yeah, it's coming, sir.
No problem. Yeah, other members, please.
One last question from Somarendro, sir. It could not answer. Please, sir.
Yeah, the maximum the extraction rate, the flow of water one can do in Manipur. Say, let's say I'm looking about say 40 meter cube. This is 40,000 liters per hour. That is equivalent to one MLD. 1 MLD is not big for for irrigation and for farming. So I mean that kind of water. There, if you want to have that capacity, why don't we suggest that? Especially for Imphal East area where there is a water problem for agriculture.
Imphal East area maximum we can suggest up to 400 LPM, sir.
Okay, that is half MLD.
Yeah. Because
okay.
due to the formation, we have some issues. So if we have over extracted, we can take out, but we can compensate it with the number of operation hours as per our requirement.
Okay. I think Subhas.
Yes,
is,
good evening.
yeah.
Good evening, Tamo Somarendro.
Good evening. Good evening.
So, Tamo, actually, I work in the Department of Space. And then as you are aware that the ISRO is generating this groundwater prospect map on 1:50,000 scale for the entire country using remote sensing techniques, using different combination of different information such as you know, lithology, the geomorphology, the hydrology, and structural map and all those things. So, which means we're able to generate these groundwater yield and depth information, which is also possible, can be used for possible exploration of different zones and conservation measures and all those things. So my question is how useful these maps are at the user side, such as CGWB, and then are these maps sufficient maps which can pinpoint the areas where we can dig out this tube well or bore well digging? So I mean, how do you find these maps useful at your end? I just want to get your feedback.
Okay. Thank you, Subhas. Basically, we use that your map prepared by this ISRO NESAC also. But as a mother of our baseline of our study, we depend upon Survey of India, this toposits. 1:50,000, 1:10,000, like that. But we need that. Just space maps, it's it's a maybe very recent, maybe earlier 20 years back also. But ground truth verification is a very important. Sometimes, luckily we have just directly, got that information, whatever you have in your map. But unluckily, in some pockets, it's not also successful. So we need ground truth verifications. Especially that's why we consider both the maps prepared by ISRO NESAC and as well as our toposits, because toposits earlier, because we have a paddy field in the 1975. Now that paddy field has cover up and now it's a marketplace. The change in the scenario, then after earthquake also the change in the scenario, then whatever is there, we need to know the original history of the geological, geomorphological points of that area. That's we consider. We consider both your map and all together ground truth and the toposits together. And in addition to that, first we try to conduct the vertical electrical sounding, that is geophysical studies in that area especially. Then based on different studies we have conducted, and finally we decide that this area we can construct this type of well and up to this depth. That is our final decision. Then we use your map also, very helpful.
Yeah.
I just want to add on before Subhas interject. There is a CSIR lab in Hyderabad, National NGRI, National Geophysical Research Institute. No, I know their director, and I happen to be in some platform. I share the panel meeting. He was telling this your mapping. He used a helicopter. he fly over the hilly track and there is some kind of
Helibond survey.
A helibond survey.
Sure.
So he's talking about helibond is the most advanced of looking the water. How true is that? Yeah, your remark on.
Not so good. Helibond survey is especially to a depth of the 30 meters only, sir. So it's in the virgin area like deserts and other plain areas. It is very successful, not in all areas, and it can just give the result of the 30 meters depth only. We need a depth of 200, 400 meters depth. That information Helibond cannot give, sir.
Okay. I think it's already 9 o'clock, 9:20. I think Uzar Ranjan, final comment, final questions, remarks, and then I think we can close it. Uzar Ranjan.
Okay. Thank you, Ojar Subindro, and a very big thanks to our today's speaker, Dr. Somarendro.
Thank you.
And really, we got many things which we were not knowing also. And most importantly, we were not knowing from where this type of information data can be obtained. So I'm very sure now whatever the presentation you have given, and anyway we are going to make it available.
Was a sound off?
Sorry. And this will be very useful to many, even our MSc students, or even who will be taking up many research work in terms of this water resource management and this thing. I think it will be very useful. And coming to my personal experience, there was sometime in 2000, 2001 or 2, in my place, that is in Yaripok, particularly in my village, that is Yaripok Khorom, that is particularly known as, it is from the Yaripok to Chandrakhong line. If you go, there is a village called Khorom.
Right.
So it is about 5 kilometers from Yaripok Bazaar. So what happened initially, when we are very small child, we had never this water problem, because we have this small canal running throughout our village, and these canals we call Ithai. It gives very good source of water, and particularly the source of water is from the Chandrakhong line and a small tributary from the Thawal River. But because of the growth of population and other things, slowly the flow of this Ithai and the canal, the flow of water was reducing year by year. And then in that whole area, we have some water scarcity problem. So what happened, though we had some water supply scheme that was arranged by the government, the main source of the water pumping station for that particular water supply, that is near the Thawal River. But the typical problem with Thawal River is that it changes its courses every year. So before this Thawal project came up, and this Thawal River was a very wild river, and then every year it will changes its courses. Sometimes the river was very near to the pumping station, that's why this water supply scheme was made. But after that 2-3 years, these courses change, and then there was no water available for pumping the pumping station to that, so that the water can be given to the water reservoir they made in the top of hill. So at that time, my father had some idea why we don't have our own tube well in our house. So because we have a small, big the plot of land just behind our houses. So we hired some Mayang, the non-Manipuris, who does this business of putting these tubes well they have some manual type of thing. So we engaged them, and then they did it. Maybe about some around 30 feet or 50, I think, meters or so, water came out. But the quality of water was, it was color-wise, it was okay. But the water was taste was so horrible. At the same time, if we touch your hands or legs in that water, you will find some kind of coloring. It is something like if you go to during cultivation of this paddy, if you then we know that when we walk on the mud water, we find that some kakichuba, which you will find your nails and then hands, everything is stained with some kind of color. Something like that happen. So we cannot use that water actually. But interestingly, maybe about another some 700 meters away, we have a small hill, and there was one tube well was made available by Public Health Engineering Division. But the quality of water that we found near the foothill of that this thing, so fantastic. There was no filtration, nothing. Water will be almost ice cold throughout the year. And if you collect the water in a glass of in a glass, you will find this is just like distilled water. So there was the contrast in even a distance difference of about 800 and you can say even 1 kilometer distance, you can say. So that is my experience. So then now I have realized that whatever you have said, because of the very high concentration of iron available in the groundwater, maybe because of that the whatever water we found in my in our house, that may be because of that. But anyway, we cannot use that water, and it was we abandoned that protesting. So anyway, now I just want to make a small comparison of whatever the water scarcity what we are facing in our Imphal city particularly, because there is a high deficit of about, I was just reading, noting down some of the figure, that there is a deficit of about 30 mld million liters per day. That is the deficit what the Imphal city is facing. But interestingly, the city where we are staying in Mumbai, the probably it may be the very unique city in the country where the main source of drinking water is rainwater only, because Mumbai has got about 7 lakhs. Okay, so our Mumbai's requirement is about 4,000 mld, and almost 90% of the water is coming from these 7 lakes, and these 7 lakes get water accumulated during rainy seasons. And then after that, this water treatment, other thing will be done at different water supply schemes, and ultimately the treated water will be coming to Mumbai and through pipes, and then it will go to all households. And probably Mumbai in India, Mumbai city gets the best quality of water in the country, just like normal water. And of course, the contamination and other things that happening during the bringing of the water to different places, to different pipes, because of the old pipes, and that is different issue. Otherwise, as far as main source of water is concerned, Mumbai city has got the best in the country. So now, like this, if unless we do this rejuvenations of all the earlier available water sources in our Imphal city, like the Lampel part and other things, even in the White House part and other things, probably our future will be very difficult actually. So now this is the time that the government has taken up some initiative, and I think we are going in the right direction, and we should support this type of project taken up by the state government. So this as the world is expanding and the populations are growing day by day, and the source of water is diminishing day by day because of the encroachment of the available water resources by the humankind, and other thing is a very. So this is the right time that we should look back what mistake and what we have done to the nature, and now those whatever wrongs doing done by us, that has to be corrected now. Otherwise, even our current generation and the future generation will have a very difficult time to get the source of water. So I think now we all of us, though we had a very working day, very long hours, but coming back and then attending this technical talk is very nice. And I think now once the situation becomes
There was again sound. Was there Ranjan? Some issue, I think. There is some issue.
No, am I audible now?
Yeah. You are back.
Okay. So anyway, now I think we have spent a long time now. Oza Somarendro, thank you very much for you have given a very nice talk, and a lot of technical informations are there, and that will be very resourceful and useful informations and technical data for or many young our scientists, or for even the MSc students will be doing a lot of research work on this issue, and this will be very useful for our state also. So now I think now with these few words, and we will be continuing this type of very useful and technical based talk series for on behalf of the PIMMSAA, and let us hope that our state and Manipur comes back to normal as soon as possible, so that we PIMMSAA can concentrate to many activities which are scientifically useful, and to bring the and really we will be able to do really good work and the useful to our motherland state Manipur. So with these few words, again I express from PIMMSAA side the our sincere thanks to all the participants of today's program for sparing their valuable time. And with these few words, I would say that we will close today's program, and we'll be meeting again very soon. Of course, we have Sunday, we have a meeting, as well as we have another very interesting talk by one of our very senior social scientists, Oza Sapamsa Jadumani. So we will be meeting again. Till that time, goodbye and good night. Thank you all. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.